Hello my crafty friends, it's Marie from Marie's Vermont Creations, and today I'm going to bring you a quick card using the Gina K Ocean Minded stamp set. So I am going to take some Catherine Pooler ink in Aquatini, and I'm going to use a blending sponge and blend on this color to about 2/3 of this panel, just enough to give me my ocean. I do heat set this off camera just to let the ink dry because I am going to do some heat embossing on it, and I didn't want to have my embossing powder everywhere. So I'm going to put this in my MISTI, and I am going to take the ocean froth from the stamp set and put that down. I always have to look up how the stamp always goes because I'm one to tend to stamp it upside down for some reason. So I made sure I have it correct. I'm going to use my Versamark ink and ink this up very well using this ink pad and get it stamped down. I thought I was going to have to stamp it twice, but I tilted it into the light and I could see that it looked like I had a pretty good impression. So sometimes I think that and then I don't, but this time I actually did. So I am going to take some Alabaster embossing powder from Brutus Monroe, and I'm going to sprinkle this all over this panel, and then I'm going to heat set that until it's smooth and melted. And then recently, I think it came in a kit, and I'm not honestly sure which one, if it was a specialty kit or if it was one of the monthly inspiration boxes, but Brutus Monroe put in some sand paste, and it said it was lavender or lilac. It was lilac, so it is a purple tint, and I thought maybe it's purple when it's wet and it dries a different color. So I'm going to take that sand paste and I am going to use my palette knife, and I am going to put a thin layer of this across the bottom of this panel to be my sand. I ended up putting way too much on, so I will have to scrape some off. It's a very pretty color, but not very sand looking in the jar, so I wasn't sure, honestly, because I've never used it before, if it would dry a different color. Just to give you a spoiler alert, it does not dry a different color. It remained purple. But I'm going to get this adhered all over this panel and take some of the extra off because I figured it would never dry at the rate I had so much on. But once I get the thickness that I want, I'm going to take the palette knife and pounce it all along like I'm doing here, all along this to give it the texture and just roughness of the sand that might be on the beach after the water has either, come in or gone out, and it's left it a little bit rough. So that's what I was going for, but I had to scrape some off in order to make sure that this would dry in a timely fashion. So then I set it aside to dry, worked on some other projects, and I came back and it was still purple. So I am going to take Gur ink from Simon Hurley, and I'm going to use an ink blending tool, and I will coat that to make it brown. But first I'm going to stamp the Seize the Day sentiment, and I'm going to use that Aquatini ink from Catherine Pooler onto a little strip and get that cut down. I figured I could do the sentiment while I was waiting for the paste to dry, but then I moved on to some different projects. But with the power of editing, you won't have to wait. I'm going to get this trimmed down with this trimmer. Absolutely love this trimmer. I have the big one too, and I find I very rarely do I use the big one. I grab this table size one all of the time, but definitely I would recommend one of the guillotine trimmers if you are in the market for one. So here I took the Gur and this little blending brush, and it's a little dark, but it's not purple anymore. So then I'm going to take my art glitter glue and use that to adhere this sentiment strip down because it's on a very textured. I could have put it to the upper right or left hand corner, but I really wanted it in the center so you could see all of the ocean waves. So then I'm going to take art glitter glue and adhere the entire panel to my card front, and that is going to be this project. So as always, I hope that you have a great day.